To calculate the mean, variance, and standard deviation using the Casio fx-570 or 991 ES Plus, start with Shift, Set Up, okay, go down and select 4 for statistics. For raw data, we would switch off the frequency. So I am selecting 2 to switch off the frequency. Next step is to go to Mode and select 3 for statistics. Okay, and now I'm selecting 1 for single variable. And we could now enter the data. So I'm starting with 10, 9 equals to 16 equal sign, 6 equal sign, 13, 2 and 8. Okay, once we are done, press AC, go to Shift and select 1. Select 3 for your summation. Okay, and from your summation we could find the value of the sum of x squared and the sum of x. To calculate your sample mean, the formula would be the summation of x over n. Okay, and the value of the sample mean could be found by pressing Shift 1 and selecting 4. Okay, so the sample mean could be found by selecting 2. The value is 9.1429. To find the value of the summation of x, we simply Shift 1 and select 3. Okay, so the sum of x could be found by selecting 2, which gives us 64, and n is 7. Okay, to find the variance, the sample variance of the data set, the formula is the summation of x squared minus summation of x whole thing square over n minus 1. To find the sample standard deviation, we simply take the square root of your variance. Okay, to find the value of your sample standard deviation, select Shift 1 again and select 4. Okay, number 4 gives you the sample standard deviation. Number 3 gives you the population standard deviation. So I'm selecting 4 for your sample standard deviation, and the answer is 4.5617. To find the value of your sample variance, we take the square of your sample standard deviation and we get the value of 20.8095. Again, press Shift 1, select 3. To find the sum of x squared, we select 1. This gives us 710 minus sum of x is 64, square over n is 7, over n minus 1 is 6. And there you go. It's quite easy. Now, what if you have group data? If you have group data such as this one here, you would first have to calculate the midpoint by taking the upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2. So once you have calculated the midpoint, I would go to Shift, Set Up again, and remember, we select 4 for statistics and we set the frequency to on. Okay, so I'm selecting 1 to switch on the frequency menu. Now I go to mode and select 3 for statistics. Again, I'm selecting 1 for single variable. And now look, we could enter the value of x, which is actually your midpoint, and we could also enter the frequency. So I am entering 2 as my first midpoint, 6 and 10, and the frequency would be 3, 2 and 5. Okay, to find your sample mean, we simply take the summation of the midpoint multiplied by the frequency divided with the summation of frequency. Okay, then I press AC. I go to shift 1. I select 4. To find the sample mean, I select 2. Okay, so this is the sample mean, 6.8. And to get the values of the sum of MF and the summation of F, I simply go to shift 1 again, select 3, and the summation of MF is equals to the summation of X over here, so I select 2. That gives me 68. Shift 1. I select 4. By selecting 1, this gives me the summation of F, which is 10. Okay. And to find the sample variance, the formula would be summation of M square F minus summation of MF square over summation of F over summation of F minus 1, and the sample standard deviation is simply the square root of your variance. Okay, to find the value of your sample standard deviation, shift 1 again and select 4. So 4 gives me the sample standard deviation, which is 3.6757. Sample variance could be calculated by squaring the value of the sample standard deviation, and this is just 13.5111. To find the rest of the values, I go to shift 1, select 3. Summation of x squared gives me the summation of m squared f. Select 1. Okay, so this is 584 minus summation of mf is 68 square over summation of f is 10 over summation of f minus 1 would be 9.